Hello! I am Pam, and this is my channel, Made by Pam. So today is Friday! Hashtag Friday Sews. So today is September 9th, 2022. And I did actually do a little bit of sewing this week. I was sitting here brainstorming. I'm like, so what did I sew this week? Did I actually sew anything? And I'm like, oh yeah, I did. So, I used Butterick 6712, this pattern. And I just made the pants. But I did it like a lounge pajama pants pattern. I could have used the other kind of fabric, but I had some like little owl fabric. Let me go ahead and grab it 1 second. Okay. So I had some little owl fabric that I bought a couple months ago. Like in anticipation of making my daughter some pants, well, pajama lounge pants for her birthday. Well, her birthday was a month ago. And I finally got it done this week. Yeah. It was last month, August. And it's September. So I had this cute little owl fabric that I had found at the thrift store. And I was like, I need to, I made sure I kind of had it hidden so she didn't see it whenever she came over. And I really wanted to get a pair of pajama lounge pants made for her. And so I'd had this pattern cut out, and I just cut it straight from the tissue paper because the smallest size on the here was a size 12. And they look a little big, but they're really not that big. And it says for a size 12 on here, for the hip, for the measurement would be a 36, which my hip is like a 36, well 35, 36. So, now the waist thing, I didn't worry too much about the sizing of the waist, because I know for the waist, it has to go up over those hips. And so it's usually, up and down, and you determine the stretchiness in the waist by the elastic that you add in it. So if you want to add a lot of extra, if you want to add the elastic and make it like really tight on your waist, you can. Or if you just want a casual, like loose fitting, but not one that's going to fall down off your body, but one that's going to stay up, you can always adjust the elastic. Alright, that's enough hoo-ha out of me. Alright, so I was making that, and then I watched Becky from Aunt Beck's Creations, and she was making owls. And then I was watching Meri from the MeriArt, and she was making her owl. And I'm like, yeah. And I had just finished the pants for my daughter, and I was thinking about it. My daughter had showed up, and then because I also had to fix a sleeve on her shirt for work, because the dog had chewed up the sleeve on her shirt. And so she asked me if I could fix the sleeve. And so I fixed it. I just took off the cuff, because nothing was wrong with this sleeve itself, like the arm part. It was just like the little piece, like for the cuff, was all messed up. So I'm like, oh, well, I'll just unpick this, add a new cuff to it. So I went and dug through a bag that had some of the scraps in it from previous jobs, because I have lots of sewing scraps, lots of fabric scraps, And so I went through that and I found a piece, because I was like, oh, I don't want to have to go all the way back and get that roll of fabric and have to cut a piece off of it. I'm like, I should have some fabric scraps. And so I was back there and I look and I see one of the big bags that I have my scraps in. And I'm like, oh, I remember using that fabric right there for another project. I bet that black fabric will be in that bag. So I looked through it and the black fabric was right there, and I'm like, whoo, dodged that bullet. So I got that done for her. And then while she was at work, she left, because she brings her dog over to stay with us while she goes to work, which I don't exactly, I don't know. I guess she's okay. So while she was gone and I was watching Meri, I was like, you know what? I am going to make a cute little owl. But I called it my cheater owl. So I made one for my daughter, and I'll post a picture right there. Oh, and then also, let me post a picture of her doing a twirl in her pajama lounge pants. Awesome, thank you. Okay, so that's her. And a picture of her owl. And I did post the owl picture and the twirl on my Facebook and my Instagram. Alright, so this owl is mine. This is my little owl. So I just sewed around the tops. And so I didn't like sew it and then flip it. I decided with this one I was just going to sew it so I could have some of that extra little fringe off the edges. And then I decided I was going to sew a little flower on there. And then this is just stuffed with the little fabric scraps from, you know, the making of the toys. Well, the toys and the pajama pants, I just used and cut up like the little fabric scraps. Because, you know, you end up with these loose bits. So, like, what do you do with them? Well, I don't like throwing them away. So I cut them up and added them in the toy. And I think that was perfect. So, the back side, if you exclude that little flower I put on the back, it is the same fabric I used for my lounge pajama pants. And then this side. So here is my pair. So I've got the waist. I got the cute little pockets. And I'm trying to decide if I have enough of this that I can make my 8-year-old a pair of pajama lounge pants, because she likes this kind of fabric. And then I just added a little bit of, and she would probably just do shorts, but I also added a little elastic on the bottom so that they don't drag on the ground. So while I'm walking around and I have my shoes on or even barefooted, it's gonna just loop right there at my ankles and it's not going to drag on the ground. Well, I would hope. I haven't tried it yet. But yeah, so this is my pair. And I thought about making a pair of overalls, and I was thinking about it. I'm like, you know what? This one would just be better just as the pajama lounge pants. Because then if it's a cold winter day and I want to put them on and sleep in them, I can. Because I don't generally wear my overalls to bed. I actually put on a pair of pajama pants that has a loose waistband to wear to bed. But for like an everyday, like wearing thing. I wear my overalls because I have my pocket here, which my phone, I just stick it in my pocket. And there we go. Because then I don't have to stick it in my pocket by my hips. Because who wants that? Well, and I don't always want to like carry a purse around. That's just a pain. Alright, so that was my pair. Showed you my daughter's pair. I showed you her owl. And then this is my owl, which I've added little embellishments. And these little like flower embellishments are from the fabric on this owl fabric. You'll see the little embellishment there. So I just have added that. And see, look how much more little tiny owls I could make. Isn't that fabulous? I could make a dozen. I could make a whole family. Am I going to? No, probably not. I'll probably find something else to make with that. But this is my little owl. I know my little boy, my 5-year-old, he wanted a little owl. So I might make him one. And do other little things on it. Alright. So, what else have I been working on? So last week, Mari kickstarted the Project Dress a Girl campaign. And some of us have been like making dresses through like every month throughout the year. Well, not every month, but a little bit here and there. Like I've made quite a few already. And I have kind of split it up among the months, like when I feel like, okay, time to get sewing some more. And I make like maybe 6 at a time, sometimes maybe 3. So she got that started, and she told us about the Allison print dress. And so I printed out the pattern. So I have like my pattern pieces here. Well, these are like the instructions. So I have the instructions and the printer layout and stuff. You know, like trying this out, like see that right there and that right there. I kept thinking that should be on the opposite side. Seriously. Because when you go to tape it together, you're kind of having to flip it. And I'm like, that just doesn't make sense. I made it work, but man. So, well, I cut out the smallest size. Because I was cutting out a piece. And then after I cut out that piece, well, because I cut it out on the solid line. And I was like, I'm not sure what size this one is going to make because I really didn't look at the information fully. I just figured, well, I'll just cut it out on the solid line and we'll just go from there. Well, it's the smallest size, of course. But it'll be cute. Well, it's just this cute little dress piece here. I have that all cut out. I have 2 of them cut out. And I could easily cut out at least 2 more, maybe 3 more. Because I do have a whole nother piece of fabric just like this. But I'm going to make those up and see what I like before I cut anything else out. Now, also, I went the store shopping. So they'd actually gotten in some patterns, like a simplicity pattern. So this simplicity pattern is from 2014, so it may not be available anymore. But it's just this cute little simplicity pattern, and it just has the elastic that just goes along the back side. Well, let me show you. Oh, get that right. Alright, so it just has the elastic right there that goes along the back side. And there's like no buttons or closures. It's just a tie. So basically, I'll be making view A. And so I got the pattern pieces cut out. And I just cut it straight out of the tissue because my youngest girl is 8. And if I wanted to cut it down to a smaller size, I can. But I probably won't. But I don't know how many of this one I'm going to make. I still have to decide. But sometimes I look at patterns and like that elephant tent dress. I literally had to go upstairs to tape it together. And I was like, I'm just really not this excited about it. And I should be more excited. But I will get them all sewn up and see what happens. And next week, let's see. I think my date is on the 17th. Let me double look just one moment. And then I can be more precise with you. Because I don't always remember these things. Okay, so let me tell you for sure what date I am doing my video. Yes, the 17th. Alright, so that is actually next Saturday. Yeah. And so I'll kind of go over next week. And I'll do another video next Friday also. And maybe one in between the week. But I will go over what patterns I've used for each dress, if I can remember. And just kind of go over it. Alright, so let's see. Anything else? I have been doing some mixed media art. I've been doing a lot of collecting and not so much anything else. Alright, well, I guess I better go. I guess you can kind of see that little, like, mark on my forehead there. Yeah, I was cleaning out the drains with, drain auger, like, snake thing. And it coiled up and it whacked me in the head. And then it coiled up. Like, I got this big bruise right here. And this big bruise right here. It coiled up and it whacked me in the arm. I'm like, oh my goodness. But I'm okay. Alright, well, I better go. I will talk to you guys all next time. Have a fabulous day and stay creative. Bye now.